How Influencers Utilize Mind Control Through Social Media by me, Ken Kirshner. Importance. People such as celebrities, athletes, and individuals in high job positions, and other people who possess mass amounts of wealth tend to obtain large followings on social media. With this following comes influence. Common folk who have social media typically follow these important individuals with large influence, which raises a question. How do the large followings of individuals on social media platforms affect people's behavior and beliefs? Today, we will be exploring how people are affected by the messages spread by popular individuals through social media. This topic was prevalent in Social Media and the Movement of Ideas by Edward Kessler and in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham Jail. Number 1, social media is a business. As I stated, many individuals who are widely followed have mass amounts of wealth. These people are always looking for ways to keep making more money, and they do this through social media marketing. In addition to this, followers on social media become obsessed with the decadent lifestyle which they see and want to become more like the individual who they are following. With this obsession, people begin to associate the person's wealth with their success. This is extremely important because when someone is viewed as successful, the claims which they make begin to hold importance and integrity, even if unrightfully so. Veteran journalist Joe Piazza says that the fact is, Americans today are inundated with news about famous people. Number 2, mob mentality. When the first human civilization was formed, social hierarchy was born. Edward Kessler expresses that people have an inherent predisposition to follow others closely because of the inclusive nature of mob mentality. In his article, Social Media and the Movement of Ideas, Kessler explains that social media allows niche communities to exist with little or no interference from society, and sectarian factions reproduce themselves easily. In support, BBC News would claim that fame is a powerful cultural magnet. With these, we see that people are obsessed with celebrities because of their fame, wealth, and the community which is involved. Together, we see that the major impacts of mob mentality through these sources and how easily factions can be formed and reproduced among certain groups. Number 3, the effects of social media. Dr. John Grohol, who is the founder and CEO of Psych Central, would say that young teens glorify the image represented by celebrities through social media. In support of this, Nathan Heflick, who has a PhD in psychology, states that celebrities are an integral part of culture and that by worshiping them, we feel as if we are participating in this hugely important cause or belief system. These beliefs have been seen to have major negative effects on the teenage mind, sometimes causing mental disorders later in life, such as depression and anxiety. Counter-argument. Christine Tucker, who is a political science major, would argue that celebrities have a positive effect on teenagers by setting a good example of how to live and act. Here we see Christine make the claim that social media has greater positive implications than negative without using any sources to uphold her claims. Rebuttal. On the contrary, it is a scientific fact that celebrities have extreme negative effects on the sociological aspects of the teenage brain, as expressed in a peer-reviewed journal authored by many psychologists. In the Canadian Journal of Chemical Engineering, it is stated that significant relationships were found between attitudes towards celebrity and body image only among female adolescents. This journal confirms how celebrity obsession through social media is extremely harmful to the mental health of young teenagers, even affecting them later on in life. Solution. The main solution to prevent the harmful effects of celebrity obsession through social media would be to delete the apps from your device or to ignore the messages being spread by highly followed individuals by either unfollowing them or by not reading their marketed posts. You could also supplement these ideas by blocking certain individuals. Implications and limitations. Okay, so implications of this solution would be that parents could check their children's phones to monitor their feeds by checking who they're following and monitoring what they're saying. Also, time on social media platforms could be set by parents on their phones, so to limit the amount of time that a child would spend on the application, so that they won't be completely bombarded by messages being spread by highly followed individuals. Also, specific individuals who have harmful views could be blocked, meaning that they would not be able to see, their children would not be able to see any posts which are being marketed to them or that are spreading harmful opinions and viewpoints. Limitations of this solution would be that some people may not want to listen to the advice being given by their parents, or they might not want to block or unfollow the highly followed individuals because of their obsession with them. In conclusion, scientists and stimulus agree that celebrities harbor major negative impacts on the teenage mind and how teenagers' behaviors and beliefs are developed in the future and in their adult life. There are serious consequences later on in life for the overall quality of life and the health of listeners who on social media who are being bombarded by messages of highly followed individuals. Thank you.
Thanks, Kent. I got a couple of questions for you. How did your research evolve as you moved through the process? Did it start as something different than it finished? Explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I actually had 3 different thesis questions that I researched, and in the beginning I was trying to focus more on the monetary needs of like celebrities and stuff, but I figured out that wasn't it didn't pertain to the stimulus materials as much as I thought it did, and that it was going to be a lot harder to research and prove and back up my information on, so I decided to not focus on the monetary aspects of it and more focus on how it affects the people who are listening to it. So.
Okay. And then as a follow-up, explain the level of certainty you have about your sort of recommendation at the end.
Okay, so I think with strict parents it could be very useful, but with parents who don't care much about their children or they're not very involved in their life, I think it would be a lot harder for them to be controlled by whatever their parents are saying. They might just find a different way to keep updated with someone who they're obsessed with. So it could work in many situations, but it also could fail in other situations.
Good, thank you.